Hey y'all, it's been a couple of weeks since I've recorded anything. Last I probably recorded was stuff about Epstein, but we're going back to the Senate torture report. After 9/11, many suspected terrorists were detained for extended periods and tortured, according to this report. And since tomorrow is September 11th, figure I might as well just get some recordings done of this actual document, but the real name of it is the Report of the Senate Select Committee on Intelligence Committee Study of the Central Intelligence Agency's Detention and Interrogation Program. And again, after 9/11, many suspected terrorists were detained for extended periods and tortured, according to this report. So, we are on page 311, and this is 712-page document. I'm sure there's definitions of terms and stuff like that near the end, but we're not going to go through all that. But let's get back to this. It says on March 15th, 2003, Deputy Chief of Alex Station, which I think is the Osama bin Laden desk, or Afghanistan desk at CIA. He was reading the intelligence from the foreign government interrogation of Majid Khan, requested a photograph of Majid Khan and additional information to use with KSM, or Khalid, I think it's Khalid Sheikh Mohammed. In response, CIA headquarters sent the detention stop photographs of Majid Khan's family and associates, including Ayman Farris. On March 17th, 2003, 11 days after the FBI officially reopened its investigations of Ayman Farris, KSM was shown photographs of both Ayman Farris and Majid Khan. According to CIA cables, KSM was also asked detailed questions about an email communications, which a cable stated served as an effective means to convey to KSM the impression that the USG, or the United States government, already possessed considerable information and that the information would be used to check the accuracy of his statements. In this context, KSM identified the photograph of Ayman Farris as a truck driver and a relative of Majid Khan. KSM claimed that he could not remember the truck driver's name. KSM described the truck driver as a colorful character who liked to drink and have girlfriends and was very interested in business. The next day, March 18, 2003, KSM stated that in February 2002, he tasked the truck driver to procure specialized machine tools that will be useful to Al-Qaeda to loosen the nuts and bolts of suspension bridges in the United States. According to KSM, in March 2002, the truck driver asked Mansour Khan, son of Maksud Khan, to inform KSM that the truck driver could not find such tools. KSM stated that he made no further requests to the truck driver. According to a CIA cable, on the evening of March 5th, 2003, the FBI informed the city that Ohio police had been following Ayman Farris for some time and had stopped him and questioned him about his relationship to Shaukat, I guess that's how you say it, Shaukat Ali Khan, Majid Khan's. Hold on, I'll get down here. Majid Khan's father of Baltimore. According to a CIA officer, when the FBI approached Farris, he talked voluntarily. Records indicate that Farris initially claimed to know Shaukat or whatever Ali Khan through the gas station business and agreed to take a polygraph examination. According to FBI records, prior to the polygraph, Farris admitted to being associated with KSM and provided details on his relationship with Al-Qaeda's members in Pakistan. Specifically, Ayman Farris told FBI and Ohio police he had met KSM and had been tasked with procuring items. Farris detailed how KSM had a plan to cut the suspension cables on the Brooklyn Bridge to cause its collapse using gas cutters. Farris maintained that he thought that the task to take down the bridge was impossible and did not take further action. There's some footnotes if you want to go back and look at that. Okay, over several weeks, Ayman Farris continued to voluntarily cooperate with law enforcement officials and engaged in efforts. Hold on. With law enforcement officials and in efforts To assist in the capture of Maksud Khan, Ferris provided additional details on his activities related to the Khan family, KSM, his meeting with UBL, or Osama bin Laden, and been hiding up in them caves, and two extremists in the United States who had discussed wanting to kill Americans in a Columbus area shopping mall with a Kalashnikov automatic rifle. On April 22nd, 2003, Ferris had accepted a plea agreement and continued to cooperate, including by sending email messages to Al Qaeda members in Pakistan for the purposes of intelligence collection. On May 1st, 2003, Ferris was transported from Quantico, Virginia, where he was voluntarily residing and working with the FBI, to a federal court in Alexandria, Virginia, where he pled guilty to material support to terrorist charges. He was subsequently sentenced to 20 years in prison. On April 3rd, 2003, the Interagency Intelligence Committee, on Terrorism, or the IICT, assessed that the use of tools to loosen the bolts of suspension bridges were methods that appeared to be unrealistic. The identification, capture, and arrest of Sajid Badat, something like that. Summary: the CIA represented that its enhanced interrogation techniques were effective and produced critical, otherwise unavailable intelligence, which thwarted plots and saved lives. That's the story they've told the entire time. Over a period of years, the CIA provided the identification, discovery, capture, and arrest of Sajid Badat as evidence for the effectiveness of the CIA's enhanced interrogation techniques. These representations were inaccurate. UK domestic investigative efforts, reporting from foreign intelligence services, international law enforcement efforts, and U.S. military reporting resulted in the identification and arrest of Sajid Badat. I guess that's how you say his name. More footnotes. Okay, further details. Sajid Badat was selected by al-Qaeda leaders, including Abu Hafs al-Masri and Saif al-Adil, whatever, to carry out an attack against a Western airliner with Richard Reed using a shoe bomb explosive device. In December of 2001, Sajid Badat returned to the United Kingdom in the late 2001 and sent a message to his al-Qaeda handler, stating that he was withdrawing from the operation. On December 22nd, 2001, there's more footnotes. Richard Reed attempted to detonate a shoe bomb, and that's why we have to take our shoes off now at the TSA, on a flight from Paris, France to Miami, Florida. The plane was diverted to Boston, Massachusetts, and Reed was taken into custody. The discovery, identification, capture, and arrest of Sajid Badat, the shoe bomber, is one of the 8 most frequently cited examples provided by the CIA as evidence of the effectiveness of the CIA's enhanced interrogation techniques. Over a period of years, CIA documents prepared for and provided to senior policymakers, intelligence officials, and the Department of Justice represent the discovery, identification, capture, and or arrest of Sajid Badat as an example of how key intelligence collected from high-value detainees, HVDs, interrogations after applying interrogation techniques had enabled CIA to disrupt terrorist plots and capture additional terrorists. In at least one CIA document prepared for the president, the CIA specifically highlighted the waterboard interrogation technique in enabling the CIA to learn that Sajid Badat was the operative slated to launch a simultaneous shoe bomb attack with Richard Reed in 2001. The CIA further represented that the intelligence required from the CIA's enhanced interrogation techniques was otherwise unavailable and saved lives. Why do they say unavailable? It should be like invaluable or something like that. More footnotes. As an example, on October 26, 2007, the CIA faxed a document to the Senate Appropriations Committee appealing a proposed elimination of funding for the CIA's rendition and detention program. The CIA appeal states that most, if not all, of the intelligence acquired from high-value detainees in this program would likely not have been discovered or reported in any other way. Representing the success of the CIA interrogation program, the document states detainees have permitted discovery of terrorist cells, key individuals, and the interdiction of numerous plots, including the discovery of an more footnotes operative who was preparing another attack like that attempted by shoe bomber Richard Reed. Similarly, in early March 2005, the CIA compiled talking points on the effectiveness of the CIA's enhanced interrogation techniques for use in a meeting with the National Security Council. The document states the Central Intelligence Agency can advise you that this program works and the techniques are effective in producing foreign intelligence. The document states that after applying interrogation techniques, the CIA learned from KSM in Amar that Sajid Madat was the operative slated to launch a simultaneous shoe bomb attack with Richard Reed in December of 2001. A month later, on April 15, 2005, the CIA faxed an 8-page document to the Department of Justice's Office of Legal Counsel entitled Briefing Notes on the Value of Detainee Reporting, which contains similar information. The Office of Legal Counsel used the information to support its May 30th, 2005 legal opinion on whether certain enhanced interrogation techniques were consistent with United States obligations under Article 16 of the United Nations Convention Against Torture and Other Cruel, Inhumane, or Degrading Treatment or Punishment. The CIA provided document states identifying the other shoe bomber leads provided by KSM in November 2003 led directly to the arrest of shoe bomber Richard Reed's one-time partner Sajid Badat in the UK. KSM had volunteered the existence of Badat, whom he knew as Isa al-Pakistani, as the operative who was slated to launch a simultaneous shoe bomb attack with Richard Reed in December 2001. The CIA provided similar inaccurate representations regarding the purported role of KSM and Amar al-Baluchi in the discovery, identification, capture, and arrest of Sajid Badat in 16 of the 20 documents provided to policymakers and the Department of Justice between July 2003 and March 2009. However, in an additional case, on March 4, 2005, CIA briefing for Vice President Cheney, the CIA credited Abu Zubaydah with identifying Sajid Badat, despite a lack of any reporting on Sajid Badat from Abu Zubaydah. Good grief, these names. Okay, more footnotes. Contrary to CIA representations, a review of CIA operational cables and other documents found that the CIA's enhanced interrogation techniques did not result in otherwise unavailable intelligence leading to the discovery, identification, capture, or arrest of Sajid Badat. According to CIA records and the UK's own investigative summary, the investigation of Sajid Badat was a UK or United Kingdom-led operation, and the intelligence that alerted security officials to a UK-based ISA, aka Sajid Badat, a potential second shoe bomber related to Richard Reed, a suspected UK terrorist named Sajid Badat, Sajid Badat's connection to Richard Reed, Sajid Badat's physical description, Sajid Badat's location, and the initial identification of a UK surveillance photo of Sajid Badat, the shoe bomber, was unrelated to information acquired from CIA detainees during or after the use of the CIA's enhanced interrogation techniques. CIA records indicate that the information that led to Sajid Badat's arrest and UK criminal prosecution was also not derived from the CIA's detention and interrogation program. And remember, They even said earlier that the FBI had opportunities to kind of build rapport and they got intelligence from that. Just remember, if you've watched any of the videos, it mentioned that earlier that the rapport building that the FBI did gained way more than torture. But whatever, I'm not saying one way or another because these people hate Americans and they would rather kill us. So, it is what it is. Okay, so prior to any reporting from CIA detainees, and as early as January 14th, 2002, the FBI informed the CIA that Richard Reed had an unidentified partner who allegedly backed out of the operation at the last minute. This information was later, more footnotes, corroborated by a credible CIA source prior to any reporting from the CIA's detention and interrogation program. In July 2002, a foreign government reported that prepaid phone cards recovered by the FBI from Richard Reed upon his arrest were used by an individual named Sajid Badat to call a known terrorist, Nizar Trabelsi, I think. Anyway, FBI interviews of Trabelsi, officially relayed to the CIA in July 2002, reported that El Badad Sajid was involved in operations targeting American interests. The CIA highlighted in the July 2002 cable that this information matched previous reporting from a European government that identified as Sajid Badat of Gloucester, I guess that's how you say it, Gloucester, United Kingdom, with the date of birth March 28th, 1979, as a person suspected of being involved in terrorist activity. Additional analysis of the phone card connected Badat and Reed, as well as other intelligence, placed Sajid Badat and Richard Reed together in Belgium in September of 2001. According to Redacted, Sajid Badat was linked to other well-known extremists in the United Kingdom who were already under investigation. Specifically, Badat was known to Redacted as a member of Babar Ahmad's group and was a particularly close associate of Mirza Beg. Redacted reporting also determined that Badat had attended a jihad training camp in Afghanistan. Oh, yes, the holy war to kill Americans and infidels. Okay, concurrent with the emergence of information linking Sajid Badat to Richard Reed, there was an ongoing international effort to identify one or more UK-based Al-Qaeda operatives known as ISA. As early as June of 2002, CIA records indicate that an individual in the custody of a foreign government, Abu Zubair al Eli, repeatedly referenced an Abu Isa al Pakistani as a British born Pakistani associate with Richard Reed and engaged in plotting in the United Kingdom at the behest of KSM. This information was corroborative of other intelligence reporting. In May of 2003, this detainee met with CIA officers to produce several sketches that were described as having achieved a 95% likeness of this individual. On August 17, 2003, CIA officers noted that a photograph of Sajid Badat provided by Redacted, which is a foreign partner, looked an awful lot like the sketches of the Richard Reed associate made with the assistance of the detainee in foreign government custody. CIA headquarters requested that the photograph be shown to CIA detainees. According to CIA records, on August 18, 2003, KSM viewed the picture for a while, but said he did not recognize the person in the photo. When KSM was asked if Isa's name could be Sajid Badat, KSM shrugged and said that the Badat name was not the name he recalled. Pressed further, KSM stated he was confident that the name Sajid Badat was not Isa's name. On August 22, 2003, emails among CIA officers stated that CTC I think that's counterterrorism, believes that Abu Isa's true name is Sajid Badat. KSM says that Badat is not Abu Isa, but he might be lying. On August 23rd, 2003, the detailed sketches derived from interviews of the detainee in foreign custody, Abu Zubair al-Ha'ili, I guess. The sketches CIA officer stated so closely resembled the redacted foreign partner provided photos of Sajid Badat were shown to KSM. KSM stated he did not recognize the individual in the sketches. Meanwhile, on August 21st, 2003, a CIA cable noted that the redacted foreign partner had informed the CIA that joint interviews by the FBI and redacted the foreign partner authorities of an individual in FBI custody, James Ujama, led investigators in the UK to a home formerly occupied by both Mirza Beg and Sajid Badat. The redacted, the foreign partner authorities relayed to the CIA that at least one of these men was known by the alias Isa and that the subjects were related to a separate ongoing terrorism investigation. On September 2nd, 2003, redacted, the foreign partner authorities informed the CIA that secret and reliable reporting indicated that Sajid Badat is the Richard Reed associate and shoe bomber. According to the redacted foreign partner report, redacted foreign partner information linked Badat to a larger redacted network in the United Kingdom, which was part of the larger aforementioned redacted foreign partner investigation. On September 9th, 2003, a detainee in U.S. military custody at Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, identified a photograph of Sajid Badat to a visiting UK official as Abu Isa, the shoe bomber. The next day, KSM identified a photograph of Sajid Badat as Isa al-Brittani, aka Isa Richard, the associate of Richard Reed. That's weird. Other detainees in U.S. military custody subsequently identified the same photograph of Sajid Badat as Abu Isa, the shoe bomber. So here's more footnotes. I'm going to stop here. That'll put us on page 323. And that way it won't take, it won't be like this boring documents. But anyway, I mean, it's kind of fascinating seeing some of this stuff, but whatever. Anyway, I will talk to you later. Have a good one. Bye.